Shalom, giving all praises and glory to our power Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shah, Bahasham Racha Kodash, divine to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders, great millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect of the tabernacles of David, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, and wherever you may be, to you I say Shalom, Nashallah, Shalom. Right, just gonna let this quick video play here that I saw sometime yesterday, probably yesterday evening, or it was sometime yesterday. But this here, it says secretive border patrol program is detaining U.S. citizens for suspicious travel. All right. Now, in the video, the guy that they stopped was actually innocent, and basically, I mean, how they explain it, he was just part of the program. Not saying he was targeted directly, or well, kind of he was, but it's just basically them testing out their technology. It's going to show you what Esau has. All right. And there's a couple of scriptures. As a matter of fact, let me get the scriptures first because we'll just play. Because I might forget what scriptures I want. As a matter of fact, let's get this one because I always go into the scripture here. Because this is just Esau, what he does, okay, what he seems to be good at, surveilling and technology. Okay. Lamentations 4:18, they hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near, our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. Our persecutors are swifter than eagles of the heaven. They pursued us upon the mountains. They lay wait for us in the wilderness. Now, as always, make sure it's going back to the Babylonian time period. But as the scriptures say, there's nothing new under the sun. So liken it to what Esau does today, because here's another one. Let me get that one. They accomplish a diligent search. All right. Oh, I didn't hit it back. So yeah, Psalms. You pulled up Psalm 64. Okay, and 5. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, "Who shall see them?" This is what they do. They have these so-called great minds, great thinkers, right? Thinking of all kinds of technology, and they'll put it out there in the, or not in the like the open market, like you and I can grab, but to test these things out, okay? And which with the ICE situation going on now, that's something major. Because you'll see exactly what it's going into as we play the video, and you'll see the whole scenario as it plays out, and so on and so forth, okay? But yeah, it says they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, "Who shall see them?" And in the video, like I said, the dude was innocent. Now, one thing I will say, because then I don't know if the dude was an Israelite or not. It's not really, I'm trying to make that point. But I do want to make a point of saying, let's say this dude was a non-Israelite, okay? And because he was talking about how he was getting frustrated as they kept going on, because they were asking him questions. He had, he wasn't, guilty of anything. He was innocent, so on and so forth. And I was thinking, yesterday evening, I was like, well, welcome, because Jake been dealing with that all their life. All right, this is what we deal with all the time, or not all the time now, or maybe I don't know, maybe some people do, but I mean, throughout our history. All right, the Israelites have always dealt with that. Okay, where the enemy would oppress us for apparent reason, like you just so-called black in your own neighborhood, and you got cops that'll harass you. Okay, meanwhile, when you go to Esau neighborhood, ain't no cops around, as if they don't do drugs, sell drugs, or but it's not about them. All right, it's about Jake. It's about oppressing you. Okay. And it says that in the curses that you will only be oppressed always, or something like that. Okay. So it says, they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. The heart meaning their mind. Okay. So yeah. And this technology really shows it. Which is not the highest level of things, but it is sort of a semi-high level type of technology when you see what it can do. As a matter of fact, let's just get into the video now. I might have to pull it back up. Give me a second.
Credit. Hey, how you doing, brother?
Here we go.
Hey, my name is Joel. I'm with the Bexar County Sheriff's Office. The only reason I'm stopping you is when I was watching over there, you were drifting over that fog line pretty hard. I just want to make sure everything's okay. You got your driver's license on you? It's not going to be a ticket. It's going to be a warning. Hey, I'm going to have you step out and sit in my passenger seat while I do your warning, okay? Thanks a lot, man.
The moment he asked me to get out of my vehicle, I knew right away something was fishy about the entire thing. I've been pulled over a few times in my life for speeding tickets, and that was a very unnatural thing to be requested for a warning violation.
Do you have anything in your vehicle that you're not supposed to have? Okay. All right. Would you allow me to search your vehicle? Okay. So what I'll do is we have a canine pretty close, so I'm gonna have a canine come out and do a walk around your vehicle. He's coming up. All right. So good. What's going on? Yeah, so it's off that thing. So I don't want to too much, but this is one of the ones. Okay. Yeah. If you want to talk to him. Everything matches or what? Yeah, well, it's the one that I was looking for. So they've been tracking it. You ever problem with me running my dog on your vehicle here?
No, you notice how he was saying,
But this is one of the ones.
he didn't want to outright say it,
Yeah. If you want to talk to him. Everything matches or what?
because this is obviously a known program amongst them.
That I was looking for. So they've been tracking it. You have a problem with me running my dog on your vehicle here? It's okay. It's okay? Okay, is there anything that you know that my dog is going to alert on? Any narcotics? Things like that? No? Okay. All right, man. I'm gonna have you sit in the back seat while I search. I'm not gonna put handcuffs on you or nothing. But you are detained because of the positive alert. If we don't find nothing in there, then you'll be good to go, man. Okay.
You think you're just driving around, doing your job, doing things with your kids and family, and you find out the government is tracking your location and your whereabouts as you go about your normal life. And they're using this to suggest that a citizen might be doing something wrong.
License plate readers are incredibly powerful surveillance. They are collecting mass amounts of information about who people are, where they go, what they do, and who they know. And
There you go, right there. And which I had something pulled up yesterday, but I should have known it was going to go away. I'm trying to remember what it was that I typed in. There was something that I wanted to pull up. Okay. Man, what was it that I because I typed in something yesterday. Because these things, because Google search, something just over searches the next or the last thing or whatever. But also we can oh yeah, that's what it was. Police state. I want to go into the term police state. The water y'all was more shot. Because I was about to type in Palantir, but that was a good one though. I could have typed in Palantir, but yeah, police state. A police state is a government that exercises repressive and rigid control over the social, economic, and political life of its population. All right, so a government that exercises repressive and rigid control over the social, economic, and political life of its population, primarily through an arbitrary use of power by police and security forces, often at the expense of civil liberties. Okay. In fact, let's grab not that. I want civil liberties. Okay. In such a state, the government is ruled by individuals, not by law. And in such a state, in a police state, the government is ruled by individuals, not by law. And there is little or no legal recourse against government actions. All right. Extensive surveillance. The government engages in pervasive monitoring of citizens' activities and communications, often without warrants or due process. And that's exactly what you see happening here in this video. They're just testing out a program, and this guy was randomly targeted. And I think it eventually mentions later on in the video how, because I believe it pulls up the police, like the call, that like the chat that they were having back and forth. And so they were already waiting for him somewhere near the border, okay? Because his vehicle was targeted randomly for no reason by way of this program that they were using. All right, and this is technology that they have out here. Presence of secret police. A national or secret police force operates outside normal constitutional boundaries to suppress political dissent and enforce loyalty to the regime through fear and intimidation. Arbitrary law enforcement. Laws are applied inconsistently and arbitrarily, and individuals may be detained, arrested, or imprisoned without proper legal procedures or fair trial. See, and that's what, and had he had anything, so-called illegal, okay, then he would have been hit, all right, because there was no way for them to know that. Maybe say he was running some drugs. There was no way for them to know that he was running drugs because his vehicle was targeted randomly, okay, but he would have been taken down in a drug bust, okay. And they're actually going to talk about in the video how he was going to, how he covered, how he covered, the officer covered his ass on how they targeted him, okay? And I think he was speaking to his superior, and he was talking about how he covered his ass just in case. So, but that's how Esau operates, all right? Because, like I said, I'm not sure this dude is an Israelite or not. But now coming from the angle of an Israelite, okay, this is where we are. We're in captivity. We're in this man's rulership, okay? We're under his governance, all right? And all we have is Yahweh Shem Al-Shah and this truth, okay? Because without that, okay, and we're let loose to this devil, man, he's going to devour us, see? Lack of accountability, those in power, and it's all because of what? Because of disobedience, because we transgress the laws of the Lord, all right? Got to throw that in there. Okay, because Jake don't want to take accountability, the 2/3, all right? They don't want to take accountability that our life is like it is because we turn our backs on the Lord. But let's keep going. Lack of accountability. Those in power, we're just talking about something else. Did I read all of that? Censorship and propaganda. I don't think I read it. It says the state controls the flow of information through strict censorship of the media, internet, and all forms of expression. That's what they did. And see, that's beautiful because because I thought I was going to do my other video now, but I realized I got to still do some, I got to, edit my videos before I get into it. But, because we're going to go through, another AI, probably one of my favorite sessions. We go into AI chat, man, trying to keep up with Esau's devices, okay? World news, the current state, various articles, and AI chat, all right? You don't watch any of my videos, definitely watch that, or especially AI chats, all right? Because, it's stuff like this that we get into and talk about, all right? And, but the main things we're looking out for is what? The micro C-hip, all right? Its progression, the brain C-hips, its progression, but then also other technologies, all right, that Esau is creating and he wants to bring forth in this world, in this so-called New World Order, all right? So if anything, definitely watch the AI chats, all right? And every now and then a helpful hint and info. I got another one I'm going to toss out there in a second here. So it says, the state controls the flow of information through strict censorship of the media, internet, and all forms of expression, while simultaneously using propaganda to shape public perception and ensure conformity. Lack of accountability. Those in power, including law enforcement and security forces, are often not held accountable for their actions, you see, even in cases of abuse. And that's basically what happened here in this video, okay? He was randomly stopped, nothing he could do about it, and little did he know he was actually targeted, okay? Militarized police. Domestic police forces may be heavily militarized, using equipment and tactics typically associated with warfare. Police states can be authoritarian or totalitarian regimes, but the term itself emphasizes the role of the police and internal security in maintaining absolute control. Historically, examples often cited include Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union under Stalin. Now, I will add, I'm not saying that this is the police state. I'm just saying some of these actions here that they were using is what made me think about this term here. So I'm not saying that we're in a police state or anything like that. All right. I think I copied something, didn't I? Oh yeah, civil liberties. So civil liberties are fundamental freedoms and rights guaranteed to individuals that protect them from undue or arbitrary interference or an overreach of power by the government. These liberties set boundaries for government action and are considered essential to a democratic society. But as we see, Esau can get around these things, okay? And even when he can't get around it, he always has some kind of other bill or something that, like when we talk about the Posse Comitatus, Act, Well, to get around that, he has the Insurrection Act. So even when there's no way through a certain avenue, he has a way to get around it instead. All right. So yeah, there you go. And I was thinking about something else that slipped my mind. But yeah, so let me pause this and get back to that video.
Who people are, where they go, what they
life. And they're using this to suggest that a citizen might be doing something wrong.
License plate readers are incredibly powerful surveillance. They are collecting mass amounts of information about who people are, where they go, what they do, and who they know.
Data collection.
And then that information is now being weaponized by the federal government to identify, track, and arrest community members.
Yep, and they want to force everybody towards what? A digital identity, okay? And then eventually, that mass surveillance through, the cameras, Palantir, and the actual chip inside of you where you can actually be tracked everywhere you go. See?
The night before, I drove down to Parasol, Texas, to meet a customer the next morning. Normal day, everything went very well. We left, and I started heading back home to Houston. My route back was up Interstate 35, and I was right at the county line when I was pulled over for Bexar County. We later found out that he was waiting at the county line for me.
See? And that's funny because it says stopping drivers considered suspicious. But what is suspicious about randomly targeting a vehicle? You see? But that's the devil for you, man.
Before I got pulled over.
So I guess when it says quick turnaround, he was talking about the truck. But so a quick turnaround meant that he was fleeing or trying to dodge, or you know what I'm saying? So, and I'm not advocating for this guy. I'm just, making little points here as we go out throughout the video.
I was aware of some of the license plate readers. I'd seen them on the side of the road. I never had any direct interaction with them.
So this guy, they've been, I'll tell you later, but a guy called me and said, "Where you at?" And I said, "I'm here." And he's like, "Yeah." So when I told him, oh shit, that was awesome. Hey sir, the back seat, does it come forward on the left side, right? The same as the right? Is there anything up in your sunroof? If I bring it back, is it gonna drop anything? Okay. We're almost done, man. You're gonna be on your way here in a minute. We just gotta, with a positive alert, we have to do a full,
I don't know what alert.
because unfortunately, he said it get a hard hit on the driver's side. I don't know.
As it progressed, I became more irritated that he was continuing to ask me questions. One, there was nothing that came back on my license. There were no warrants for my arrest. There was no evidence to suggest anything nefarious. Watching them struggle to get my kids' car seats out and just being very rough with your possessions and your child's possessions. At the time, I had a 6-week-old baby, and this was the first trip out of town. So I was very conscious of our belongings and how to treat car seats and how important they are. And just watching them mishandle and throw things out when there was clearly no evidence to support their search.
The Bexar County Sheriff's Office declined to comment, citing pending litigation. We also reached out to the Border Patrol's parent agency, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, and they told us there are policies, laws, and constitutional protections in place to ensure that the license plate reader program operates responsibly and legally. They declined to provide details of its use, citing national security reasons.
So, and again, this was it was one of those from the app, the Intel stops about in a one-day turnaround. And so what I did to cover my ass in that report, I believe I put, before I said I activated red and blue, I did put in there just in case that ever gets questioned, subsequent to prior knowledge. So it had PC, but just in case they say, well, he was being targeted or anything, I didn't lie. I didn't not put something in there to show that it was an intel thing.
But that's the thing, he was being targeted. Okay.
Knowing that it was one of those, I was very careful on that stop.
Traveling inside the state of Texas is not illegal. It's not illegal to drive from one city to another and back the next day.
Where our cars are is where we are. Where our cars are is where our family is. Where our cars are is what we're doing.
And so I guess that's what they were saying before when they were speaking about a turnaround, because I guess they monitored him going into one city and then coming back the next day. I mean, come on, man. That's the ridiculousness. Okay, I mean, when I was younger, I think I traveled to Florida with my dad, and the hotels was filled up, so we actually had to drive back and forth from Florida to Georgia because the hotel we stayed in was in Georgia. Okay, but we had to drive into Florida every day, and obviously leaving Florida you have to go back to a Georgia hotel. So I mean, so that's basically what they were saying, because they saw him drive into Texas and out of Texas, and it's just madness. Okay, but I'm just pinpointing, what Esau is doing, how he's mass surveilling the people, how he wants to watch and see everything and monitor everything, and this is part of his system that he's pushing for, so that he can what's that? 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 4. He wants to play God. You see, he wants to see and know everything, and above all that, he wants to control it all. See,
who we're doing it with. These surveillance systems do not make communities safer. They make community members more threatened.
This problem is only going to get worse and worse. I'd like to see this be illegal for proactive policing. These databases, if they exist, need to be locked down. It shouldn't be a free-for-all on all the citizens' personal data. I used to think if you're not hiding anything, you have nothing to be worried about. If you didn't do anything wrong, you have nothing to worry about. And now I know that even if you did nothing wrong, you still have something to worry about.
Okay, sir. We're done.
And as I said before, Israel been dealing with that, pretty much all our life. All right. That was something I had in my mind that I want to type in before we left off. Because if I can't remember what it was, we can just close off here. Man, yeah, I forget what it was, but it's okay. We just, like I said, it was a quick video that I saw last night. Okay, and I want you to just go into it, and you see, just part of Esau's surveillance system, pretty much. On a lower level, it's talking about these license plate readers, but it's still part of his surveillance system. All right, and he can randomly target people, track them, so on and so forth. And above all else, he covers his ass while he does it. Even if he doesn't, I mean, this is the devil's, it's the devil's kingdom. All right, so he's going to do what he's going to do anyways, and that's what he was set up for. All right, so we'll pretty much close it off on that. Lord willing, you will edify. Shalom.